Howdy, it's your favorite girl serving you only the best caramel. This is a very sad tour. If you're coming from my previous video, you'll see how I got here. We are now at the Elmina castle. It's a castle in Ghana, in Cape Coast, a city like 3 hours away from Accra. From outside, it just looks like this white, beautiful building. But once you enter inside and hear the stories, you just can't believe it. Doesn't make sense. Let me take you through the tour. It's a very sad tour for sure. As Africans, I feel like this is something that you should do in your lifetime. Like, you should visit these castles and just visit the dungeons and just understand what our ancestors went through. This our tour guide was taking us through the dungeons, and if you listen to the story, you won't believe it. So we started at the female dungeons. There are a lot of them. Now remember, the Elmina castle wasn't built for slaves. It started as a gold trading center, then it was turned into a slave castle. So if you look at the building, it has been adjusted multiple times, and this is how the dungeons used to look like. The doorways back in the days were doors, so where you're seeing an arc, that used to be a door. Just listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it smells like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like blood.
Right. So these are the dungeons for the women, where the women were held. And this was designed for 150 women.
150.
This was for about 10 minutes.
And they can't even.
The door was
Oh, this was a door.
they sell it. This one is not like a cell.
No air.
Okay.
It is about testing the strength.
Yeah.
See the strong ones.
If they can survive here, it means they can survive anywhere.
Yes. So it's about testing. And you know, Ghana alone, they learn more than 50 foreign casters. Only the more than 50 resources.
In Ghana?
In Ghana, more than 50
Like this one.
foreign casters. So if we are saying to the who suffer the pain of slavery,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's to make her feel better.
Exactly.
I told you.
Exactly. Just to make her feel better.
This system made by the Portuguese. This was the only source of water they used. Actually, they used rainwater to fill the system too. So they pass over the place. Whenever it rains, they have the water to fill it too.
Now this is the saddest part. The stairs behind the tour guide, that's the stairs that was used by women when they were called upon by the governor. They connect to the governor's bedroom. So that's the only time the women were allowed to get out of the dungeon. It was only that time that they were going to be violated by the governor. And once they are done with the governor, once they come down the stairs, the soldiers are waiting for them to finish them 5 more times before they get back to the dungeon. Imagine. Then for anyone who tried to be rebellious or rude or trying to escape, they were given a punishment to carry this heavy ball. I even tried carrying it, I could not. So imagine being starved and being told to carry this ball the whole day without dropping it. I think it was like 25 kilograms or more. I can't remember, but it was so heavy. I can't imagine how they did it. I can't imagine.
It's too
I guess you guys are you ate yesterday, right? It's the gate of no return. Now, when the ships came, they put the men and the women back to change the game. That 15 or 20. The run was done. Where the slaves in the South Africans were branded. And there were some whose names in the festival and so forth. Now, when the matter is still when the men will stay, when they fall down, it's a gone. So some is a someone.
Okay.
Yes. So we are in certain danger. The women were coming from my right, then the men joined them this way from my left. So this was the next. When we went to each other for the first time. And I said each other, did the women the staircase? It was broken down by the dash. So if you are fortunate, this will meet a friend, a sister, cousins, the journey continue further.
The final stop was the gate or the door of no return. This was the last place they passed before they went on to the boat. It is so tiny and all of them could fit it because they've been starved for 3 months, just taking water only. And they passed here with chains straight to the boat. As you can see, there's an ocean there.
In those days, the sea was very close, starting the castle meters high. But now it's already seeded. When the tank and the big vessel will dock somehow, and I got the small boats. Open the narrow gates, from here comes them in the bigger ships.
There were also cells for rogue soldiers, rogue white soldiers. As you can see, it is well ventilated, it has lighting, but compare it with this other cell for rogue slaves. The entrance has a sign of death. The cells themselves have no light completely, have no window, have no ventilation. You enter to starve and be suffocated to death. There's no other way around it. Funny enough, the castle had a very beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean. The Portuguese were the ones who started with the castle. Then the British took over. So there was a lot of war going on. That's why you can see the guns. Now this is one thing that made me very angry. There was a whole church on the castle. This is a whole church on top of the dungeons. Imagine Christians are worshipping God upstairs and killing people, doing the most to women. All the men and all the women were before they were put on the boat. So you can imagine. And they claim to be Christians. The thing about using religion to colonize Africa is real.
So the step down is not that this way it ends. I show you a step.
Yeah, where the women are climbing up.
Ah, yeah,
So
yeah.
from down there, they came and they opened the door.
To the room.
You know, after the tour, after the raid, you know, that's not a permanent place. So we have to go back.
Yeah.
Then when they close the door, the soldiers sometimes also.
We finally reached at the governor's bedroom. These were the stairs that the women were taking to the governor's bedroom to be violated. Remember, that was the only time women were allowed to get out of the dungeon. And when a woman got pregnant, she was taken to a halfway house where she was kept until she gave birth. After giving birth, the child is taken away from her and she's brought back to the dungeon. It was only the mixed children that were allowed to go to school, but their mothers will never get to see them. And look at that view, like the governor had a good view. A few kilometers away from the Elmina castle is the Cape Coast Castle. This castle is worse than the Elmina castle in that, unlike the Elmina castle that started as a gold trade center, the Cape Coast Castle was built literally for slaves. The dungeons here are more defined. There are torture chambers, and there's even a cemetery to honor the white people that tortured Africans. The only black person that was buried here to be honored by the white people was one man by the name Philip Kweku. Philip Kweku was honored just because he was a traitor and he helped the white people to find slaves. The guide in this castle was so passionate and he could not hide it. Like we had white people in the group and he did not care. He told them to their face that their ancestors did the most to us. And honestly speaking, those flowers from white people to ask for apologies, they just don't cut it, honestly.
This is how black can do this without artificial light.
Oh. What?
So the holes you see out there was only source of light and current and darkness. That was only way they could determine whether it was there or not. The room you find yourself in contained over 100 to 200 men in chains and in shackles. They did everything on the floor. They had to sleep on the floor, they had to eat on the floor, they had to go to the toilet on the floor, they had to urinate, they had to do everything on the floor.
Imagine feces, blood, sweat, menstrual blood was so much that it formed a new layer on the floor. You could not see the original floor. I'm telling you, this tour was so enlightening and so sad, and just words cannot explain. It's too much, honestly.